All right, welcome. This is our All Lives Matter call with Dr. Alex Loyd and Dr. David Peck, who's not going to be with us today. My name is Johanna Chan, and I'm going to assist Alex today. It is November the 16th, 2022. Before we start our program, I want to share this disclaimer. This presentation is for education and informational purposes only. And since we're going to be talking about issues of health and well-being, we wanted to make sure that you understand this information is not intended to heal or cure anything. Everything in the presentation are the opinions of Dr. Alex Loyd, David Peck, myself, or possibly you if you choose to share. You should always check with a licensed healthcare provider about any specific health concerns you may have. All right, Alex, take it away.
Okay, thank you so much, Johanna, and thank you everyone for being here, whether you're live or by recording. We know most people come by recording. I'm Alex Loyd. Dr. David Peck is traveling today on the road and not able to be here. But for those, if you're new to this, I'll tell you, Dr. David Peck is a double board certified surgeon at Columbia Presbyterian Hospital in New York. He has been a professor at Columbia for over 25 years, over 50 published clinical papers, 4 United States patents in the area of health. I mean, he is as high as you can get almost on that medical doctor ladder. And medical doctors today are the gods of our society. I mean, it's not just me that feels that way. I'm not necessarily saying that in a good way, but it's the way it is. David, though, as highly credentialed and all as he is, doesn't care about any of that. He's a very humble man who just wants to help people. And he's doing this with me. He's not being paid a penny. I'm not being paid a penny. This is completely nonprofit. We give you everything you need for free. And the reason we're doing this is to help 1 million to 1 billion people. I said 1 million, David said 1 billion, to increase their emotional well-being by 100% or more in 12 months or less, with everything you need to do that being given to you for free. And we're also, each week we discuss a different kind of life issue and challenge, and then do a custom healing process to heal those issues in your life. You can look back at the past ones, and there's a good chance that one or more of those will be something that's a big issue for you in your life. And the custom healing process that you can use immediately without paying or doing anything, no hoops to jump through, is right there for you to use. So that's kind of what this is, why we're doing it. I like to say when David is not here, that if you wanted to ask somebody like David medical questions, it might be hard to do. Those people tend to be hard to get to, or you have to pay a lot of money to get to them, or something like that. David is here, willing to give of his time, his wisdom, his knowledge, for free to anyone who needs it. So you can come, and I hope you participate with our All Lives Matter movement, which is the 100% increased emotional well-being. But you can also come and ask medical questions of a guy who's at the very top of that ladder, and most likely is probably much higher credentialed than whatever doctor you see for your own personal care. And sometimes those guys who are way up there, they have some knowledge and wisdom that sometimes the other even MDs that are competent don't have. So this program is kind of for that too, for you. You can ask me. I have a doctorate in psychology, did private practice counseling and therapy for years. If you'd like to ask a psychology type question, I'll be happy to try to do my best to answer that. But typically when David is here, any medical or health question, he's going to know the answer about as well as anybody in the world. So because he is gone this week, and we started this the first time he was on the road and couldn't make it, and we're going to do that again today. The issue we're going to talk about, this is really risky for me because I have no idea what you're going to say, but my safety net is that Johanna is here. So if I can't answer it, Johanna's going to answer it. Right, Johanna?
Oh, boy. Well, we'll see.
Okay. So if you have an issue that you would like us to discuss today and do a custom healing process for, raise your hand. And we'll listen to, if there's more than one, we'll listen to 2 or 3 and then make a decision, talk about it, do a custom healing process for it. And then after that, Johanna is going to do custom codes for anyone that wants it, just for you, just for your issue. Okay. So does anyone have an issue you would like to discuss today and do a healing process for?
Okay, so if you're on a phone, it's *9. If you are on line, you can push the little icon for you to raise your hand. So let's see. I'm going to open this line for her name is Judith.
Oh, and can I interrupt a minute, Johanna?
Yes.
Okay, I should have said this, but since we're going to hear from, since we've got more than one person wanting to suggest an issue, this first time, if you could just, when Johanna unmutes you, if you could just say your name and then in like 60 seconds or less, here's the issue I would nominate for us to discuss and do a process for today and share what that is. And then we'll listen to the others, and then Johanna and I'll try to make a decision, and then we'll go for it. So go ahead, Johanna. Sorry about that.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay, so Judith, if you want to unmute your line, you can make a suggestion of what you'd like to address today. Judith?
Hi. Hello, hi. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Right. I'm calling from London, and I would like to know more about how I could do healing code and trilogy for a friend who suffers with agoraphobia and has a real
agoraphobia. Did you say agoraphobia?
Yes, and
Okay.
she's a real fear of being on her own as well, indoors. So she doesn't like being on her own indoors, and she's also got the sort of general agoraphobia.
Okay. Man, that's a double whammy. Agoraphobia is where you don't like being out in public, but you say she also has trouble being alone at home, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Oh, wow, man, that's a double whammy. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Let's go to the next one, Johanna.
Okay, so April, if you want to unmute your line and make a suggestion.
Hey guys, can you hear me?
Hey, yeah, April, go ahead.
Okay, so my suggestion is, and we may have already done this one before, but rejection and insecurity. And I don't know if you guys want to tackle this or not, but I don't know if it's coming from me. So I know we kind of touched on this before about the feeling field and being able to feel other people's feelings. And it can be a very intense thing for me sometimes. And people are like, well, just put up some blocks. I'm like, I don't even know how to do that.
Okay. Thank you, April.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
And Marilyn, you have a topic, Marilyn?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Go ahead, Marilyn.
Good morning, Alex. Good morning, Johanna. A couple of these calls ago, you said where our relationship with God is our relationship with our father or our parents. And my father was a very punishing God. And so I'm aware that I have this energy of feeling that God is a punishing God. So that's where I would like to heal, is that energy of feeling that God is a punishing God.
Okay. Wow, man, they're all really good. Okay. What do you think? What do you think, Johanna? We've got agoraphobia, which is fear of being out in public, but also the same person feeling alone inside. Now, that might be really specific and not apply to a whole lot of people. The second one, rejection and insecurity, and including feeling other people's feelings, which doesn't always feel good, and maybe not having control over that, which is something I've absolutely had my whole life. And then relationship with God, being influenced by relationship with earthly father, who maybe wasn't the greatest, most loving dad in the world. Johanna, anything occur to you on those, or as far as which one to discuss or anything?
Well, I was thinking that the rejection and insecurity, and particularly because of the holidays coming up.
I was too. Okay, so that just confirms it to me. So that was April, I believe, correct?
April, yeah.
I think. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So apologies to the lady from England and to Maryland, and I've written those down, and we will try to address those at another time. I hope that's okay. Okay, rejection and insecurity. I've never met anyone in my life who did not have a rejection issue. Not one. Most people have a whole bunch of them. And rejection at its root is a safety issue. And safety, if you're familiar with anything about psychology and the history of psychology, safety is like number one on the importance list. If you don't have safety, you can't do anything for depression or anxiety or bipolar or relationship struggles or anything. I mean, if you don't have safety, nothing else matters until you do have safety. And rejection is literally feeling and maybe even believing that I'm unsafe, either physically or non-physically. Non-physically would be there's someone or something here that is going to be mean to me non-physically, with their words, with their actions, with the decisions they make, with their body language that I can feel, even if they tell me that that they're agreeing with me, I can feel that they don't. And that maybe makes it even worse, okay? And then kind of added to that, the cherry on top, as April put it, are those of us who naturally feel other people's feelings and tend to absorb them, which is fine when it's love, joy, and peace. Well, sometimes it's not. Sometimes if it's love, joy, and peace, and I can sense that in you, but I don't have any of it in my life, it can be horrible. Why can't I have what they have? But very often it's absorbing stress, anxiety, low self-worth, things like that. Okay, so who has a word about that or something from their own life? Rejection for me was largely self-rejection later in life and rejection by others early. When most of you know my story, my life was idyllic till I started to kindergarten, and then I discovered that I was not a very attractive person. I was overweight. I had poor potty control when I started to kindergarten. Later, of course, that wasn't an issue, but that was a big issue in kindergarten. Later on, I developed bad acne. I made bad grades in school because I'm dyslexic and ADHD and didn't know it at the time. So I had others' rejection once I started to school. and then self-rejection for decades after that. So does anyone else want to share before we do a custom for this? And this is, April, this is a topic everyone on the planet has. So this is 100%er. Anyone else want to make a comment, ask a question? Johanna, you want to add something before we go to a custom?
Well, let me go ahead and unmute Marilyn. She has her hand up, so.
Yes, got me?
There you go.
Yeah. I just want to say, April, thank you for this one. As soon as you started talking, Alex, I went, yeah, wow, this is what I need today. Thank you very much.
Oh, cool.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Wow, that's serendipitous. Anyone else?
Star 9 is going to raise your hand. Okay, Bridget, your hand, you want to unmute?
Go ahead, Bridget.
Hello, Dr. Alex. Yes, I would identify with that too. And I want to say thanks to April for bringing this to the forefront. I definitely could use this as well today. Thank you very much.
All right. April, you're the man, as they say. Don't mean any sexist thing by that, by the way. That was just an expression when I was growing up.
All right. I think
Susan, I think Susan has her hand up.
Yes, go ahead, Susan.
Hi there, Johanna and Dr. Alex. It's great to speak to you. Yes, I had written in the chat because I didn't see how to click on it. It's a little different Zoom setup than I was used to, but safe and secure, not ever feeling safe and secure has been the big thing in my life. And that expresses itself particularly in me rejecting finances into my life, and it has left me with like a very low ceiling of being able to earn in my life, and that has been a major difficulty and still is. So that's huge for me, but the basis is I just don't feel safe and not ever feel safe or secure.
All right.
Not felt supported. Yes, it's insufficient. That sort of thing. So I relate very strongly to that.
All right. One comment I would make, kind of tacking on to Marilyn's, is the sign behind me. All lives matter. You know, these rejection issues sometimes are very, very real. I mean, when I was growing up in school, people really did make fun of me. And that was an unsafe environment for me, emotionally, spiritually, etc. But today, those people aren't making fun of me today. That was decades ago. But if I'm still suffering and struggling from that, it's because of the sign behind me. It's because I'm believing a lie, and all lies matter. And if you eliminate the lie, you eliminate the unsafe feeling, okay? Because for most of us today, we are safe physically, if not get safe. You may not be safe emotionally. If you're not, I would tell you to start taking steps to become safe emotionally as well. But the thing that gets the 90% of us today, there are 10% that probably are in either physical or emotional danger right now. But for the 90% of us, it's that we're believing a lie that comes from earlier in our life when maybe that really was a real situation, but it's not today. But we may still be living today as if I was still in kindergarten with poopy pants, which is ridiculous. I haven't had poopy pants since kindergarten. So for me to live as if that's still an issue to me, I'm living a lie. I see Mr. or Mrs. McEnroe has their hand up.
All right.
Hi, Dr. Alex. Hi, thank you so much. It's Annie. I'm sorry. I know
Hi, Annie.
when I use Zoom on my phone, it just says the first initial.
Oh, that's fine. Go ahead.
Hi, Johanna. So good to see you. One of the things that this brought up for me, thank you, April, was the fact that I have felt unsafe and insecure in my own body. And it's not because necessarily like, oh, I don't like the way I look today. It's more of how I start to feel emotionally, where a panic attack will come on and I won't know what will trigger it. I don't know when the next one will come. Or for example, I had eczema since I was 3. I don't know when a flare up will come. I don't know if kids are going to make fun of me, this is especially when I was younger. So I felt very unsafe living in this, I called it my shell, which was, my physical body. I felt very, very unsafe in my physical body. So I thought I could be completely safe in the comfort of my own home, but I don't know how my body, which is where I live permanently, is going to react.
Right.
So that was interesting.
Yeah. Great point that, we don't necessarily have control over
Yes.
the cellular memories that resonate the lies to us, today. So great point. Okay, but let's go ahead and start on the intervention, Johanna, before I run out of time here.
You're gonna go for it.
Okay. So this is for rejection issues or feelings, thoughts, or beliefs that you're not safe, either physically or emotionally. Okay. All right. So let's start with a healing code. Left hand jaw, right hand temple. Left hand jaw, right hand temple. And you can say a prayer about your particular issues to write while you're doing this. Please take slow, deep breaths from your stomach, not your chest. And don't try to make anything happen. If anything, get out of the way and allow your body, mind, and spirit to do exactly what they know how to do, which is heal this. Left hand bridge, right hand Adam's apple. Left hand bridge, right hand Adam's apple. By the way, we have about 1,000 people last time we checked following these calls. The science says we need about 120 people who are completely committed to hit critical mass. And once you hit critical mass, you can't stop it if you try. So if you want to be one of those 120, we would love to hear from you. And again, we don't ask you to follow us, just join us. Both hands Adam's apple. Both hands bridge. Okay, slow, deep breath as we transition. Okay, now let's go to custom acupuncture points. Let's start with temples, just 4 or 5 taps each spot. Little finger, just do what I'm doing if you don't know how to do it. Eyebrows. Thumb. Under the nose. Sore spot. Chin. Middle finger. Middle of the chest. Under the eyes. Index finger. Under the nipples. Under the arms. 9G. Eyes open, closed, open, eyes down to the left, down to the right, circle your eyes, circle the other way. Mhm, mhm. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Mhm, mhm. All right. Now let's activate governing and conception vessel 3 times, please. 3 times. If it hurts, you're pushing too hard. This is also called yin and yang and has been for hundreds, if not thousands of years. Calms the central nervous system. Okay, now custom healing centers. Let's start with throat. Please open and harmonize. And if it hurts, you're massaging too hard. Under the belly button, please open and harmonize. Forehead, please open and harmonize. Heart, please open and harmonize. Basal root on the pubic bone, please open and harmonize. Crown, please open and harmonize. Middle of the stomach, please open and harmonize. All right, and let's transition to the last section. Left hand forehead, right hand on the brainstem. This is unconscious, subconscious, and conscious mind all at the same time. Okay, both hands over the heart. Slow, deep breaths over and over. Let the code process. And while you're letting it process, I wanted to share that if you do not know how to do the healing code or trilogy, which is what we've been doing, there should be a link where this is posted on YouTube, a free link, someplace to click, probably down below the video, that shows you how to do them for free. So if you refer a friend, make sure they find that. Okay. Johanna, if we have a question or comment, I've got 2 or 3 minutes here before I've got to bug out.
Okay, I'm gonna unmute Bridget's line. Bridget, I'm not sure if you want to go ahead and unmute. You have a question or comment? Bridget?
Maybe that was from before.
It might have been. Okay. Let me see. Annie also had a hand up. Annie, did you have a question? You can unmute your line.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. That was from before.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, you should have everything you need on how to do the healing code and trilogy. And also, if you're sharing this with a friend and, you know, they see us doing this kind of crazy stuff and think we're out of our minds, which we maybe we are, please refer them to our website and the 15 double-blind studies that have been done and published in peer-reviewed journals. that prove that this stuff works and works on a wide range of issues, 26 different issues they've studied so far, and it works on all of them. And that's what we call proof. It's the same way drugs are approved and surgeries and everything else. It's called the scientific method. All right, well, Johanna, I've got to bug out. I love all y'all. Thank you. Please tell your friends. Hopefully Dr. David will be back next week. And hope you have a lovely week. And next week will be the day before Thanksgiving. So let's be thinking about being thankful and grateful. One of the most powerful things you can do is switch from being afraid and wanting this and wanting that to being grateful and thankful for what you do have. Thank you, everyone. Love you, Johanna.
Love you too, Alex. All right, so I'm going to stop the recording.